All right. So first and foremost, clams. If you're intimidated about them, I'll first say, if this was chicken, I wouldn't be touching it and then smearing it on my face. Like, people are worried. It's raw seafood. These are alive. They're not going to bite you. These are little neck clams. But it's not like chicken or beef or steak or pork or that type of thing. You can touch these and then touch other things. So immediately, there should be a less of intimidation to cook clams versus meats, right? It's not got that same thing. These are beautifully cleaned. Again, incredible quality. But we do want to get inside because they live in the water. And they live in the water and they kind of soak up water. They open up briefly and then they shut. And they soak up and they shut. And because of that, sometimes sand gets into the shells. So we have to do what's called burping the clams. And I've got a baby, and just saying burping anything right now is bringing PTSD back to my life. But we have to burp them, which means we have to kind of bring the ocean back to them so that they open up like they're in the ocean and let go of their sand. Really easy, right? So what do you got to do? You got to create a little mini ocean. Easy. Salt and water. That's the ocean. We're easy peasy. So first and foremost, you get your clams from Fulton Fish Market. The first thing you want to do is take them out and put them in the fridge. And as long as they're shut tight, I always inspect them, and you'll notice with Fulton, you don't see cracks. Sometimes when you go just to the grocery store, you see an insane amount of cracks. If there's a crack, you have to throw it out. With Fulton, because there's people hand inspecting it, almost none of them have cracks. Of course, occasionally there might be the little outsider, so you just want to be careful. But with Fulton, I've noticed the seafood just comes pristine. And so you want to look for cracks. Cracks means, unfortunately, it's not alive anymore, so you throw it away. Same thing with mussels. But if they're tightly shut, like this, and they're not opening, and by the way, if they're a little open, I don't have one that is because these are all perfect, but if they're a little open, you can always tap them like this, like knock on their shell, and then if they close, that means they're alive, obviously. And if they don't close, that just means that they're no longer alive and no longer edible. So you do not need to wash the clams. Another step saved. This will do all the washing for you. So check it out. Clams on the board. You do not need to measure this. Just grab a handful of salt. You want to make it, salty. So just kind of imagine what that would be. And then cold water. Not hot, because that might steam them a little bit. Just cold water. And all of a sudden, they are back home. They're home in their little beds, feeling great, right? In their nice water with their salt. It takes about 30 minutes to burp them. If that was true with my baby, I would go absolutely nuts. Actually, sometimes it is. But this is how long it takes, about 30 minutes. I just give them a quick toss in my water. And literally, you just let them sit in the fridge for, again, 30 minutes. Now, I wouldn't go longer than like 2 hours. So you kind of want to do this close to when you're going to serve it, if that makes sense. If you go much longer, they start to take in the salt water, and sometimes they just become a little too salty for me. 30 to 2 hours, 30 minutes to 2 hours is about burping time action. Make sense to everybody? Easy. That's how you clean a clam. That's it. It's as easy as pouring water. If you can pour water, you can clean a clam. Love that.